All right, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, by Shem Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, our great milestone salutations to your brothers and sisters for doing the work of truth and sincerity. So today's lesson is pretty much, you know, the Lord has given us strength to smite the earth with the rod, um, with the word, okay? And hey, we're helping bring forth the righteousness of our brothers. Also, we're grievous to the elites. We're grievous to the wicked to behold. So every time we out there, we're grieving them. You know, um, and don't for 1 second think that the work of the Lord is, you know, being done in vain, or things ain't coming to pass, because they are. And you're not gonna know until you see Esau pretty much saddled up and get ready to come after us. The more you see, the irrational, hysterical, side of the so-called white man starting to pinpoint, starting to demonize more and more. That's how you know that this truth is getting to him. Okay, because we speak the truth, but the devil, he's the perfect devil. He's a perfect liar. He's gonna make the truth seem as though it's hate speech. You know, and woe to them that call good evil, man. And that's what they're doing in this society. All right. So my first verse, I'm just going through the spirit on this one. I only have a few scriptures, but I love when in the spirit pick it up. But you know, hey, the message is always Haya Kazak, be strong. Ba are the one, in the Lord. Baha Yahushua, be strong in Yahushua. So, hey, because these things, whether you want to, whether you see it or not, brothers are doubting. Which the demon of doubt, it comes in, regardless or not, if you want to acknowledge it or not. But the demon of doubt is always there, and this is for brothers that struggle with it. Like, what we're doing is it's affecting this world on a level that you might not see, and the Lord has it as so, man, because he's proven us, he's showing, he's proven his elect, those that's going to keep their integrity and keep that hope. But Salaki, this is Isaiah 11:4. Salaki, it says, "But with righteousness shall he judge the poor." All right, and that's what he's judging us off of. Okay, and reprove with equity, meaning fairness, for the meek of the earth. All right, because the so-called white man ain't doing it. They're locking the innocent up, locking the innocent up in droves, man, and they plan on permanently locking people up and putting people to death who don't believe in the image of the beast. Which is the way, this westernized culture, this westernized way of living. It says, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. All right, and he's doing that through his men. Okay, he's doing that through his men. All right, let me see the scripture. All right, so Salak, I'm gonna go back on the 5th verse. It says, "And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins." All right, meaning the reins, meaning your thoughts, your innermost thoughts, I believe. So the Most High the scriptures say in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Okay, so this is our God coming to plead our cause and redeem us. from them that devour us, because the so-called white man, he's devouring us, and he's doing it on a level, whereas if the Most High doesn't come back, he can destroy our whole nation. But that's why the Most High is fast forwarding the times, which that's a favor from the Most High. He's fast forwarding the times and making these prophecies come to pass. Because if you don't, the so-called white man is going to destroy this earth. He's going to destroy the inheritors of the earth, you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. All right. So he, in righteousness, he doth judge and make war, and he's coming to make war with the nation of Edom, and the rest of the nations. All right. So it's just one thing I wanted to highlight from that scripture. In verse 4, Salaki, Isaiah 11:4. Okay. And bear with me, Salaki. So it says, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of Salaki, with the rod of his mouth. All right, and that's the point I wanted to, that's what I wanted to pretty much draw out, because how is he smiting the world with the rod of his mouth? Through his prophets, through his men. Okay, and I'll prove that really quick. All right, Isaiah 41, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb." And that's a testament for all you brothers that know the truth and that's out on the highways and byways teaching the truth. Okay, the Spirit of the Lord was placed upon us to go out there and help redeem the nation of Israel and wake up and become judges in the earth. All right, the things that we're doing, we are becoming judges in the earth. All right. Hey, the scriptures say that, man. All right, but I'm continuing slacking. So it says, "Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name." All right, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. All right. So that's the same. It's the same with us. All right. We are a sharp instrument of the Lord, who he has hidden. Why? For his purpose. And ultimately, that purpose is bringing down the strongholds of the so-called white man, who is the devil. All right. According to the Bible, Esau, Edom. All right. Verse 3, "And said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified." So the Lord is going to be glorified through us. All right. And the glory is yet to come, but the light is there. The light is shining through us, okay? Because we're the ones that pretty much set the standard. We're raising the standard of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, in the earth. And these people they're grievous at it. Okay, they're grievous. It's grievous to behold. Because if this was just a regular message where people can write off, then they'll do it. They'll just look at us like we're crazy. But the words that we speak are powerful, and they pull on people's spirit. All right, according, I think it's Hebrews. It's a lot. Hebrews. I think it's 4:12. I think. Let me see. Let me just make sure, because I'm using my Bible right now. I'm trying to put the scriptures up there for you brothers. It says, yep, Hebrews 4:12. Let me just get it for you brothers on the screen. All right, so Hebrews 4:12. It says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. All right, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow. All right, so the word pierces through people. Okay, it pierces through their thoughts, their moral, their moral compass, which the Lord has given man from the beginning. But they sought out inventions. Okay, and they saw a wicked way than the way, the understanding of the Lord. Mainly us, because we was given the law. But the whole mankind knows the difference between good and evil. You know, it's just piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. All right. Hey, hey, man. So nobody can get away from the Most High's His word, man. All right, because all in all, the word is what establishes the earth, man. It establishes the universe, and we're part of the universe. All right, so if we are out of our natural order and doing otherwise, the Lord's word is going to pierce you. All right, verse 13. Neither is uh, there any creature that is not manifest in His sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of Him with whom He hath to do. All right, so the Lord had to do with everybody, really, because it says He's the Father of souls. All souls belong unto Him. Ezekiel 18:4, I believe. You know, so all the souls belong unto Him, man. So if it's His word is going to pierce you, okay. All right, and that just goes back to that Isaiah 49, Salakia, 49, 2, point and 2, where it says, and He hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. Okay. And He tells you, He shall be fire in the mouth of His prophets. All right. So Salaki. So Salaki. Just bear with me for a second. All right. Hopefully it come up. All right. So Salaki. It might be there. So Salaki. Hold on for a second. All right, so this is Jeremiah 5:14. It says, wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. All right. Okay. Why? Because these people are wicked. And in the mouth of the Lord, that's the light that go forth. All right. The judgments which is the light, and the light condemns the darkness. Okay. All right. So, and that's why the Lord said he will get me unto the great men, for they have known the ways of the Lord. All right. Once again, this is given to His elect. All right. Jeremiah 5:5, it says, I will get me unto the great men, and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord, and the judgment of their power. of their God, but these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. All right. And broken what yoke? Right now we live in Babylon, so we broke the Babylon yoke. Okay. We broke that yoke. All right. Here's another one, man. And that's why I say, Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not. Because why? I read it, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. All right, now, we're not just sent to the house of Israel, we're sent to the whole world, because we got to prophesy unto them as well. And that's Jeremiah 49. No, Isaiah 49. That first verse. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. Now that could be talking about our people, but the Lord sent us to the other nations to prophesy against them as well, because they're enemies. They're our enemies. Okay. All right. So Salakia. See what else I had in mind. Oh yeah, the elites, man. The elites. Oh, Isaiah 13:1. Because like I said, I made a statement. We're grievous to behold. Isaiah 13:1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. All right. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. All right. So we're raising a banner. All right. We're lifting up a banner. The banner is the Bible. And that high mountain represents the leaderships. Because at the high mountains they have what? The summit. They have the councils at the very high. At the very highest point. And it's just uh, you know, I guess you could say simile or parabolic for the leadership. It says, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand. Right, and that's the gesture. Shaking the hand is not a good gesture. Shaking the hand is like telling somebody off. It says that they may go into the gates of the nobles. All right. So our message is to the gates of the nobles. Those that are at the very top. All right. I have commanded my sanctified. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. All right. So the Most High is what? He's calling the angels. Okay. He's calling his prophets. To what? To bring down this place spiritually. Because while we push this vibration of the world, to the world, the vibration of the scriptures to the world, as we preach and prophesy, you have angels who are spirits created for vengeance, slowly but surely taking this place out, and diverse earthquakes, diverse all these so Slovakia. All right, so diverse earthquakes and all these diverse plagues that's taking and scourges taking place. Okay. So give me a second. So there's Lamentations 1 and 5. All right. I always bring this out. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper. And this is talking about Israel. When you read Lamentations, it's talking about Israel. All right. Her enemies prosper, for the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are going into captivity before the enemy. All right. Okay. So there you have it. Our enemies are the chief, the ones at the very top. So I'm gonna end it on this one. Yes, Lockie. I'm gonna end it on this one. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. And, 2 and 1. It says, for the ungodly say reason with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious. In the death of a man there is no remedy. neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. We know that Yahushua returned from the grave, but they know that they can't return from the grave. Okay. All right. So Salaki, it says, "For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as a soft air, and our name shall be forgotten in time." And this is, mind you, this is the wicked. All right. And this is what the wicked is saying. It says, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud. And that's for damn sure true. All right. It says, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. All right, so I'm gonna get to the point. All right, it says, "Come on." Well, I'll keep reading. It says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this." And that's the so-called white man. They leave tokens of, their portion in throughout the whole world. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. All right, and that's why you jakes, at an alarming rate, you get locked up in prison. You fill the prisons. You so-called black sliders and Native Americans, you fill the prisons up. All right, because their intentions, the so-called white man, Esau Edom's intentions, is to oppress you more and more. That's why you have child support. That's why you have, when you get locked up, they'll even lock up innocent people, but when they lock you up, you become a felon. It's hard to get a job when you get out. These are all snares to entrap our people. Not to mention the entertainment world, because in the entertainment world, you got to become part of a fraternity. Hey, in school, you got to become part of a fraternity. A so-called brotherhood, where you do you do rituals and so on and so forth. There's levels to it. But if you want to be at the very top, you got to sell out. You got to sell your soul. You got to become a homosexual. You got to do homosexual acts. You got to do perverse things to stay on top, because this world is wicked. All right. So they oppress us. All right. They oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow. And they haven't. That's why you have the welfare system. That's why you have, hip hop, the entertainment shows, Hip Hop Love Atlanta, whatever the hell you call it. Atlanta the real Atlanta Housewives or some shit. And you got all this bullshit they pushing on the women. Okay, feminist movement, so on and so forth. It says, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. All right, a lot of our ancient gray haired men, they're either lost to drugs, lost to certain diseases. Veterans of their military force. All right, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. See, so the so-called white man's strength is the law of justice, and it's injustice. Okay, because he uses the law to what? To persecute the poor. All right, it says, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Okay, And that's how they view us, as feeble and nothing worth. Verse 12, therefore let us lie and wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, which they do, and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education, which they have. Everything was whitewashed. Everything that the so-called white man has learned was pushed out there was a lie. He professed to have the knowledge of God, which we do, and he called himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts, you see. And that goes with the Isaiah 49, and the Hebrews 4 and 12, We're a sharp instrument of the Lord to what? To bring down the strongholds of this world. All right. He is grievous unto us, to us even to behold. So you see, the elite they don't even like seeing us. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion, and our ways are different. We don't get along to go along in this society. We see things, we have a different manner about ourselves, man. See, it says we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. All right. And that's why they're going to force some of us to try to take the chip. All right. And if we don't, they're going to put us to death. It says he pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his father, which that is true. And then they're going to see, because the Lord is going to rise upon us. He's going to, he's going to be glorified through us. And a lot of you brothers need to know that salvation is, pretty much coming through you. But it's the spirit that's upon us. All right. All right. So let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. And that's what they're doing. Okay. That's what they're in. That's what they're doing. All right. Well, I'm going to end it on that. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and those that great millstone. Salutations to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. Lord willing, you are edified. And shalom.